What's going on, guys? So this is going to be a really cool video. I recently released a video from the Funtown RV show in Dallas, Texas at the BMW booth showcasing the new BMW Continuum weight distribution sway control system. And I told you guys I'd be getting one. Folks over at etrailer, my official channel sponsor, provided me one. So big shout out to the folks over at etrailer. I really appreciate them for taking one of their units out of inventory, sending it to me so I could showcase it on the channel. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm going to unbox this. I'm going to show you how it comes because I think that was a big part of the conversation I had with the rep from BMW. He said it pretty much comes set up and configured in terms of the hydraulic system and all of that, and you really don't have to do a heck of a lot there. I think he told me it's like a 20 or 30 minute actual installation time. In this video, we're not going to be installing it because I don't really have a trailer that I can put it on at the moment, simply due to the trailer selections I have. A lot of them aren't going to be compatible with it only because of their design. Okay, so the black cargo trailer would not be compatible with the BMW Continuum because it has the center post right here. That's really the only limiting factor here. The gentleman from BMW said that that would be one of the trailers that would not work with this. So if it didn't have that center brace right there, then it would probably work just fine with this trailer. And then my Texas Pride Lowboy also wouldn't be compatible because I have this brace behind this enormous hydraulic front jack. So I couldn't use it on here either. So the only trailer I have that would be compatible would be my super compact tiny trailer over here. I have absolutely no idea why there's a breaker on the ground right there. So this trailer is compatible, but it's the only trailer I have that doesn't need weight distribution or sway control at all because of its size. So yeah, we're going to be working with probably an RV dealership to find out if we can set up with a trailer that they have and do some towing with it. So that's my limiting factor, really, is the trailers that I have just aren't designed for that type of application. And even my dump trailer has a very similar front jack to that one, so we wouldn't be able to use it either. So anyways, back to the hitch. This video is all about the unboxing process and showing you what's inside and kind of explaining to you how the system works in a little bit more detail than what I was able to provide at that event. Okay, so before we unbox it, let me show you what the labels on the box actually say. So it comes with two boxes. They're not lightweight. The smaller box probably weighs about 40 pounds. The bigger box probably about 40 pounds as well. So about 80 pounds worth of equipment. In terms of how it weighs compared to a traditional weight distribution setup with spring bars, it's probably about 30 to 40 pounds lighter than your typical Equalizer, Fastway, Reese product. It's quite a bit lighter overall, but it's still heavy. So don't just think you're gonna grab this with one hand and carry it out. They're still kind of heavy in terms of overall bulk. Now, this box has the weight distribution head, part number WDHH4500, 16,000 pound rated 2-inch receiver with a 2 5/16 inch ball. So the reason why I specifically requested this one is because the GMC Denali has a 2-inch receiver. My F450 has the 2.5-inch reducer sleeve that I can use to support this, but yeah, this is something that I wanted to be able to use on either the Denali half-ton or the F450, so this is going to give me that capability. On this side, we have the weight distribution load bar unit, which I imagine is going to have all your hydraulics, all your clamps, all of that stuff inside of here. Part number WDHL4510, weight distribution hitch load bar unit. So again, two boxes. This one has spring bars inside of it, so it's a significantly larger footprint because of that. But to open this up, I believe I'm just going to have to cut the seal down here. And this one's a little different. We'll get to that one here in a second. So, all right. Then we'll cut this seal open. Okay, so here is the hitch head unit itself. Just like anything else, B&W looks really, really nice. Solid shank. So yeah, absolutely solid shank, and you can even see inside of it, it's solid. You have your adjustment height right here. This doesn't look like any other B&W product I've ever seen in terms of the overall appearance of it. So let's go ahead and get that out of the box and set up on the table. Okay, so I have the head unit out. You have your retaining pin right there, basically your pin to lock it into your receiver. You can see your numbers right here. Maximum gross vehicle weight rating, 16,000 pounds. Maximum tongue weight, 1,600 pounds. So this should be more than capable enough for just about any size of RV or trailer you have. Even the really large destination style trailers, this shouldn't have any problem in terms of capacities. On top, you can see that it has the 2 5/16 inch ball, 16,000 pound rated. You have 2 grease zerks right here as well. Very, very cool. Okay, so next up, let's unbox the load bar unit. And this one is a little different in terms of packing. Okay, they've stapled it here on the side. This one comes off like that. Continuum Light Flex technology from Hendrix. Looks like they have 4 different variations, 2 of them with head units that have 2-inch shanks and 2 of them with head units that have 2.5-inch shanks. Okay, I can also see the load bars with no cylinder extension and then with cylinder extension. So, not quite sure what that means yet, but we will dig into this box and find out. Take out some of the packing material. It's packaged pretty well. Here's the handle and the hydraulics. Your hydraulic line is already ran. You got some paper in here to protect everything. That wraps around the bottom. Okay, so the unit over here is a 4510, so this does not have a hydraulic cylinder extension. And I'm guessing that that means that how you mount this on the front of your trailer with the hydraulic lift, there's an extension piece that's designed to give it a little bit more room or a little bit more extension capability. That's just my theory. You have all your mounting hardware, which, believe it or not, it's not a ton of it, so you don't have too much mounting hardware. Over here, you have your bracket. This is your bracket for your cylinder to mount to your A-frame. And then here is the complete spring bar unit right here. You can see Continuum Light Flex from Hendrix. Let's get this pulled out of the box and set up next to the hitch head. Okay, so we have the whole assembly unboxed, even the retaining pin for the receiver. All your components are clearly marked on the instructions. All your instructions show trailer compatibility, where everything would go, the spacing that you need as well. Even shows the different settings in terms of the highest and the lowest setting for your shank. You have your spring bars right here. This portion right here pins up to this area right here. So basically how this would work when it's on your trailer, this right here would mount underneath. You have your control right here, which would mount on the side of your A-frame. This right here would mount on your A-frame as well, and the other side of your piston would connect to that. So one side of your piston connects here, the other side of your piston connects here. This mounts as either the upper, I believe that is the upper portion. Let's see here. So yeah, that's the upper portion right there. All right. And then the hitch head mounts in place with this portion right here sliding in to this groove right here, and then it locks in with this pin right there. So, and it looks like it has a little release. It's a spring release right there. So to pull this assembly off is pretty painless. All you really do is you press this little or pull this little spring release, pops that down, and then you can kind of pull this assembly away from your trailer, which is really cool. Very, very cool how this is set up. So the trailer itself is going to have the 2 5/16 inch coupler, which would rest on top of this. And this portion right here, as you back up to your RV, you would back up close enough to where you can take this, slide it into the groove right here, lock it in place. It looks like it automatically locks right there with that spring-loaded clip right there. And then you're good to go in terms of the connection. The next part you would need is dialing in your hydraulics, so you have the right amount of weight distribution, which is pretty cool. So here's your actual reservoir, and then on the outside of it right here, you have your gauge, so you know specifically how much pressure you need to apply to the cylinder. And what ends up happening is as you put the pressure on, it creates this gradual bowing effect like this between the truck and the trailer and the truck. And if you watch the video that I shot in Dallas, it's pretty easy to tell where weight distribution occurs, but a lot of people want to know where sway control occurs. And the explanation that I was given by the gentleman from B&W, I think it added some confusion to some folks because they thought, well, with weight, you automatically get sway control. And that's not entirely true. Where you tend to get sway control, from what I can see, is inside of this assembly right here. So as you add weight distribution, what you're doing is you're pushing or adding weight to this, pressing down, and you're creating this kind of a pinching effect inside of this housing, to where that weight in itself makes this right here, this movement side to side, which would be essentially the movement of your trailer, makes it far more difficult. So as you add weight, this pivoting motion slows down tremendously, and it makes it more difficult for this to move side to side, because you're essentially creating an angle inside of this that prohibits this from moving as freely as it might normally move. So that's where your sway control comes in. At least that's what I'm seeing. I might actually consult with the folks at B&W to determine exactly where sway control actually happens. When you look at the actual instructions here, or the box, it doesn't actually mention sway control. It mentions weight distribution. So I'm not sure exactly if this is designed to primarily be weight distribution, but inherently give you a little bit of sway control, or if the design actually gives you significant sway control through some other means than what you might traditionally think. So, but this is what it looks like. As soon as we have an opportunity to install this on a trailer, I'm going to do it, because I really, really want to see how this thing feels. As soon as we can get this installed on the trailer, I'd love to take this out, showcase how it works, showcase the installation process, and what my opinions are. From a build quality perspective, just like everything B&W, this thing is absolutely insanely robust. I mean, just the quality control, the fit and finish, everything about it is top-notch. It totally looks like they put a lot of time and engineering into making sure they did this all correctly, and it was manufactured to a very, very high degree of quality and craftsmanship. Anyways, guys, I'll put a link to this in the description of the video. Can't necessarily say I recommend it yet, because I haven't actually had an opportunity to test it. But once I have an opportunity to test it, we will absolutely give you a total overall review of how this thing performs, how we like it, what we don't like about it, and if there's room for improvement, or if they've nailed it. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.